Picture this, a tiger cornered in the wild, heart racing, muscles coiled like springs. It's on the edge, yet after the threat passes, it silently shakes and sighs, releasing every ounce of that terror. Now imagine humans who get caught in trauma rarely get to shake it off like that. Why? Peter Levine dives deep into this mystery, promising a radical rethink on how trauma grips us and how we can wake the tiger within to heal. Levine starts with an unsettling contrast. Why do wild animals, constantly threatened, rarely suffer trauma like humans do? Levine recounts watching a lioness cornered by a rival pride in Africa's Serengeti. After a tense standoff, she escapes, collapsed on the grass, but then starts a wild shaking, trembling so hard you'd think she just ran a marathon. That shake is nature's trauma release, a reset button that flushes threat out of her system. Think of trauma like a spring coiled too tight inside your body. When the tiger faces danger, it expels that energy by shaking, letting the spring unwind naturally. Humans, however, often freeze that coil. Without release, that tension stays trapped, causing nightmares, hypervigilance, and panic. The breakthrough: trauma isn't just a psychological wound, it's a biological arrest. Levine's exercises focus on feeling the body's sensations, tight muscle, tingling skin, the language trauma speaks. Recognizing these signals lets you rip the safety net holding the trauma hostage, unlocking true healing. Next, Levine reveals why humans jam the body's natural trauma response, locking us into paralysis instead of escape or fight. Levine describes soldiers in Vietnam who faced ambush, too terrified to move. Instead of running or fighting, their bodies locked, heart pounding but muscles rigid as stone. That freeze response is an ancient survival tactic. But unlike animals who shake it out after, these soldiers held that terror indefinitely, causing lasting trauma. Humans often learn from childhood that feeling fear or anger is bad. Society teaches us to suppress, to put a smile on it, or to intellectualize pain. This cuts us off from our primal body signals, the very signals telling us how to discharge trauma safely. Levine's method encourages gently tuning into tiny twitches, heat, or tension, the body's whisper before the scream. By practicing this somatic awareness, trauma survivors can reclaim their instinct to move, shake, or breathe through frozen moments, toggling off the freeze from inside out. Finally, Levine offers hope, a roadmap for waking the sleeping tiger, reclaiming our wild, instinctual power to heal trauma. The cornerstone of Levine's approach is somatic experiencing, a practice where you slow down and become a curious witness to your body's sensations. He describes working with a woman named Anne who froze during a car accident. Instead of diving into her trauma story, they focused on the trembling in her hands until the energy could move freely and she felt safe again. Levine shows how easy it is to start. Noticing the weight of your feet or a flutter in your belly can begin peeling trauma's layers. These aren't therapy sessions. They're reintroductions to parts of you that trauma forced silent, reviving your instinct to move, breathe, and live fully again. The transformation goes far beyond trauma. People report feeling more grounded, more connected to their environment and emotions. The tiger isn't just waking from trauma slumber. It's reclaiming presence and vitality you thought lost, proving trauma healing is a doorway back to life's richness. Remember that tiger in the clearing, shaking off every trace of fear. Your body holds that same power, even if trauma made you forget. Try this. The next time you feel overwhelmed, pause and notice the smallest sensation, maybe a quiver or a pulse. Let it move. That's you waking the tiger inside, freeing your body's natural capacity to heal. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.